Today we're going to use a spline and the Lathe Modifier to create a wine glass. For starters, I'm going to come down and change my viewport settings. I don't want to have 4 viewports, I just want a single one to work in, so I'm going to select that option. And I don't want it to be the top, so I'm going to come up here and select front. I'm also going to move my origin by holding down the middle mouse button, clicking and dragging, so that it's a little bit lower and I can see where I'm working. Next, I'm going to come up to the Create option. Up here next to Geometry is Shapes. I'm going to work with a basic spline and I'm going to use the line. So I select the line option and I click. I then hold the Shift so I get a nice straight line and click again. Continue holding it to make the stem for my glass. Click. And then I let go and draw out the rest of my glass. I don't want to extend past that middle point or past my stem. When I get back to the beginning, it asks me if I want to close my spline, so I say yes. Once I've finished with that, I'm going to select my spline, right-click, and convert it to editable spline. This gives me access to the sub-objects. I'm going to work with the vertex layer right now. So I select vertex, draw a marquee around these vertices, and then I right-click on them. I want to change the way that corners operate. Right now, they're angular, which is a corner type, and I want them to be smooth and rounded. So I click Smooth. While I've got them selected, I can use the Move tool to move them anywhere that I want. When I'm happy, I turn off vertex, make sure that I have lines selected, come back to my modifier drop down and type the letter L to quickly jump to lathe. And I get this odd looking shape. This is caused because I need to change my alignment. So I'm going to select minimum. That's looking better, but it still doesn't quite look like a wine glass. So I'm going to come back to the vertex level. I'm going to grab that top vertex for my glass, and I'm going to move it out away from the middle a little bit. When I'm happy, I turn vertex off and go back to lathe. Now you can see that I have what looks like a glass. And if I change this to default shading, it looks pretty good.